Booby traps and danger around every bend. With Nate and his dad, the adventure never ends. From the pyramids to the deepest jungle green, lost cities of gold, sights unseen, dusty tombs and treasures that gleam. They're living the life like an 80s dream alive. Hey now, Nate, let's start the engine. Chasing relics, father, son stride. Hey now, Nate, ancient legends, globetrot myths, let's take that ride. Incan temples, desert sands, cryptic clues in foreign lands.
In part 4 of the chronicle of our journey in Jordan, we visit the UNESCO World Heritage Site of the Wadi Rum Protected Area, the largest wadi in Jordan. We would spend the night, hosted by a group of Bedouin brothers at their camp in the desert. First, though, one of the brothers, who went by the nickname Zizu, drove us around to some of his favorite sites. Our first stop was Ain Abu Aineh, which is often mistaken for the spring T.E. Lawrence wrote about in Seven Pillars of Wisdom. That spring, Ain Shalalu, is nearby but much less visited. The water of Ain Abu Aineh is piped down from where it emerges from the cliff into cisterns and troughs for Bedouin sheep, goats, and camels. It has likely been used for similar purposes going back at least 1,500 years, as evidenced by a large boulder at the site covered in Talmudic script. Wadi Rum is a 720 square kilometer, 280 square mile, sand-filled fracture in picturesque granite and sandstone. The red-tinted rocks and sand give an otherworldly mystique to the place. As such, it has been used in more than a dozen films to represent places like Mars or Arrakis, not to mention being a major filming location for the 1962 film Lawrence of Arabia. Several of that film's iconic scenes were shot on and around the Ramal red sand dune, as seen here, with the nearby Jebel Khazali featuring prominently more than once. Taking in the view from here, it's easy to let the imagination run wild. Khazali Siq is a slot canyon that effectively cuts a notch out of Jebel Khazali, entering on the north side and exiting to the west. Most of it is difficult to access without climbing gear, and there's not really anything to warrant the effort anyway. But in the cool shade at the north end, near a pair of fig trees, the inner walls of the Siq offer up their stories. Here the walls are covered with Talmudic, Nabatean, and Arabic inscriptions, as well as petroglyphs depicting humans and especially animals. Many of the species represented haven't been seen in Wadi Rum since caravans traveling from Egypt, bound for Petra, and on to Damascus stopped passing through here nearly 2,000 years ago. Though it is colloquially known as Lawrence's house, there's no actual proof that the namesake Brit ever laid eyes on the small, roofless rectangular ruin here. Little remains of the original Nabatean work at the site, other than a cistern and a few courses of blocks of what used to be a caravan stop. Scrambling up the rocks backing the site, though, you're rewarded with an excellent view of the surrounding cliffs, as well as the curious sight of hundreds of rock cairns erected by visitors over the years. It seemed only appropriate to leave our own little contribution. After that, Zizou took us to a comfy unnamed rock arch to rest and have lunch. Nate, of course, immediately climbed to the top for a look around. It's easy to see why filmmakers keep coming back to this place to use it as a stage for so many fantastical stories. It's easy to picture strange flying machines churning up the sand. Mars rovers. Stories of struggle. Stories of survival. The feeling of connection to both the past and the future is palpable here. After recharging, we continued on across the sands for a hike through Khashaba Siq. Filled with windblown sand, this shady canyon cutting through Jebel Khashaba is one of the few places in Wadi Rum where trees can be found at ground level. Even though it was a fairly short hike, trudging the whole way through sand was quite tiring. After that, we were back in the truck and headed to the Frouth rock arch. Nate had the energy to climb it. I stayed on the ground to document his triumph. Not because I was exhausted. Yeah. Right. Our last stop for the evening was our accommodations at Wadi Rum Cave Camping. The experience is highly recommended. There's essentially no light pollution out there. It was a gorgeous night, which my action camera couldn't possibly hope to capture. Sorry, you'll just have to go see for yourself. The next morning we were up early and headed into Wadi Rum Village. Many different cultures have inhabited the area of Wadi Rum over the past few thousand years. An Nabatean temple and residential complex was discovered near Wadi Rum Village in the early 1930s, showing that their habitation of the area was more than just a caravan stop. The majority of current permanent residents are the Zalabia Bedouins, who account for nearly all the 2,000 residents of Wadi Rum Village. Here, we would meet up with our ride to Wadi Musa, where we would spend the next 4 nights as we explored Petra.